graveyard of extinct Ice Age animals has resulted in one of the richest fossil sites in the world. It's known as the Rancho La Brea Tar Pits and is located in the heart of Los Angeles. Since 1913, scientists have been unearthing the remains of thousands of animals who died there. The George Page Museum has amassed a collection of over 3.5 million specimens, one of the largest collections on Earth.
Here we are at the primary storage area at the George C. Page Museum, where we have thousands of saber-toothed cat and direwolf bones, but I only have 3 racks of short-faced bear bones.
Only 30 individuals have been recovered from the short-faced bear species. This number pales in comparison to over 2,000 saber-toothed cats and more than 3,500 dire wolves. This huge disparity in the number of recovered bones points to an important characteristic of the bear's personality. It was strangely elusive.
Compared to other carnivores, I don't think bears were ever common in a locality. They tend to be solitary hunters and require an awful lot of open ground space.
Because these bears are so rare, each and every bone provides a key to piecing together the mystery of who this creature was and just how it lived. The vast collection of Ice Age animals at Rancho La Brea paint a vivid picture of a prehistoric landscape teeming with fierce predators, all competing with the bear. There were saber-toothed cats, dire wolves, and American lions. These apex predators had an abundance of prey to hunt for, such as bison, horse, camel, and even the giant sloth. While the tar pits give us the big picture, the true essence of this creature can only be found in the details. Working 3,000 miles north of the Page Museum, Dr. Paul Matthews has conducted breakthrough research on the short-faced bear. Inside his lab in the Canadian Yukon, Dr. Matthews has amassed a collection of over 3,000 bones from the short-faced bear and its contemporaries.
The short-faced bear inhabited a broad swath of western North America, from northern Alaska down to Mexico. So it's difficult to say what was the one habitat or landscape that short-faced bears inhabited.
Dr. Matthews, along with most experts, agree that this bear was a nomad, and nearly the entire North American continent was its habitat. The bones left behind from the myriad of Ice Age creatures are vivid evidence that the Pleistocene era was a brutally dangerous world for any apex predator, including the bear. No kill is easy. Any potential prey can and will fight for their lives.
That animal's not going to stand there and let you just kill it. It's going to struggle. It's going to kick, it's going to try to get away. What often happens is that there are injuries that occur.
If you look at Pleistocene bone assemblages, you see a higher incidence of bone breakage, bone pathology such as infections, where the animal incurred the injury but then later healed and kept on living.
The closest North American relative to the short-faced bear would be its cousin, the grizzly. And while this bear may be as fierce, there are many characteristics that are very different. 14,000 years ago, the grizzly lived on the same landscape as the short-faced bear, but they weren't competitors. One, quite simply, dwarfed the other. Walking on all fours, a grizzly bear is about 3.5 feet tall. The short-faced bear was 6 feet tall. And when it stood up, this huge creature measured 11 feet. Even amongst other monsters, it stood out.
A short-faced bear is quite a bit larger, 2 to 3 times the size of a grizzly bear we'd see today. And the question always is why? Why such large size? Why did this bear evolve to be such a giant?
Scientists theorize that the size of this bear made it a fearless hunter, able to kill very large prey unavailable to other predators. One such prey animal was the Jefferson ground sloth, an herbivore that weighed in at 2,000 pounds. Although slow-moving, its massive size was protection against smaller predators like the saber-toothed cat or dire wolf. Like today's elephants on the African plains, the sloth's massive size made it difficult to kill. If a sloth was attacked by a short-faced bear, it would use its best defense: sheer bulk.
You can visualize the sloth rising up on its hind legs to make itself appear bigger and more impressive to chase off a predator.
The sloth outweighed the bear by more than 800 pounds. But once the bear stood up, they were nearly the same height.
I can see these two animals rearing up, and you would have like a boxing match where they're both up there, they're swinging at each other.
In terms of weaponry, this bear had a pretty amazing arsenal. Imagine the reach of these long legs and sharp claws. It would be like a boxer standing up with a super long reach.
According to Greg McDonald, the sloth's best defense was to inflict damage with its long, sharp claws. The bear might be able to immobilize its prey by either slashing open their abdominal area or by crushing the sloth's shoulder with his powerful bite.
When you think of how powerful its jaw was, it would have created a lot of force that could certainly, if it got a hold of an animal's limb, would break it very quickly with the jaw muscles.
With his shoulder broken, the sloth would be defenseless. With the potential of killing any animal on the prey menu, how do we know what the short-faced bear ate?